Hey everybody, it's your boy SergDragon, and welcome back to another edition of the Heavens Monsters Podcast. With me always is Terrence, aka T-Money.
If you smell what the lion is cooking.
Alright, so here we go with a August 19th and 20 Raw and Smackdown review. Let's hit it off. We start the show with a recap of Smackdown last week with the fact that Daniel Bryan and Eric Rowan were doing some investigations on the incidents involving Roman Reigns, with the equipment falling on him and the car incident, all in which is saying that somebody is at fault. All of which Buddy Murphy was there during the fall accident, and he forced information out of him that put Eric Rowan's mouth, Eric Rowan's name coming out of his mouth. I said that wrong.
Yeah.
So Daniel Bryan is determined, since Eric Rowan represents Daniel Bryan, he ultimately is tarnishing Eric Rowan's name and his own. So we'll see this SmackDown review on who did it. It's quite shocking. So let's get. But first we do Monday Night Raw, where he ends up taking on Dolph Ziggler, who actually starts saying that he understands that despite what's happening to him and him getting speared and injured by Goldberg at SummerSlam, saying that it should have been him that got it all to stardom, but all the talk is on Roman Reigns, and he has not done nothing. And that kind of pissed off Dolph Ziggler to a point where he keeps talking about it should have been super kick, and it starts the match. Ultimately, thankfully, Roman Reigns shuts him up with another spear that he did not want, ultimately ending the match. Your thoughts on that, my brother?
This match was okay. Roman Reigns is good, but they need to put him with someone better.
In which case, next we have the Jerry the King Lawler making another appearance on Monday Night Raw. This time he's going to have the King's Court to get the info on why Sasha Banks, in a return last week, would attack Natalya.
You mean the answers, not...
Yeah, interrogate her, basically.
Yeah.
Get the answers. In which case, was promptly interrupted by the lights going out, and Jerry the King Lawler, who's been around the block, knows damn well what that meant. And he says, oh no, I'm out of here. He tried to get away, but sadly, Bray Wyatt, the Fiend, was behind him on stage and put him down for another mandible claw. Did I say it right? Mandible claw? Mandible.
Mick Foley's name. And
this would be the third Hall of Famer that would be assaulted by the Fiend. In which case, later, they would be on Skype, our boy, our legend, our, senpai, the Houston Harlem Heat two-time Hall of Famer, Booker T, would be on Skype getting his interview on what he thinks about the Fiend and his attack on the Hall of Famers. Ultimately, people on YouTube are saying that the next person to be attacked by the Fiend is none other than Booker T. Oh, come on. Not a H-Town boy. Come on. That sucks. Next, we would have Ricochet and The Miz tag teaming for their upcoming match in the King of the Ring tournament against two other participants, Drew McIntyre and Baron Corbin. Ultimately, the babyfaces win the match, beating the heels with Ricochet and The Miz on top. That's pretty good. Next, we have the United States champion AJ Styles putting up his title against Braun Strowman, courtesy of last week, since Braun Strowman put his hands, get these hands, as he says, on the club, the OCs, interfering with their assault on one Universal Champion, Seth Rollins. He issued a challenge for the title on the line against Baron Corbin. With the OCs in his corner of the Good Brothers, Cole Anderson and Luke Gallows, it would be a pretty much interesting match, but Braun Strowman would have the Stronghold, in which Luke Gallows comes in, super kicks him, ending the match in disqualification. Braun Strowman wins, but doesn't get the title.
There's one thing you did not know. People don't like them as a tag team. They like it better when Seth Rollins is on his own.
You cut to the chase. We didn't get to that just yet.
No, that's one thing.
But hold up, keep that thought. In which case, next we would have Seth Rollins saving Braun Strowman and issuing, after the commercial break, the fact that he wanted to get the OCs off their backs by putting their titles on the line and issuing with the general managers. I don't know who he talked to, but he talked to somebody and got the match for Seth Rollins and Braun Strowman to tag team, which is what you fast forwarded to. You didn't mention that. For the Raw tag team titles on the line against the Good Brothers of the OC, which we will cover in just a bit. So go ahead.
I was talking about last Monday Night Raw.
They didn't tag team.
No, they don't like them as. Did they win the tag team?
No, they wrestled this week.
That's why they won the tag team belts last week.
No.
Oh, okay. I thought
you went ahead, bro.
Because I missed it. I didn't see the whole thing. I missed it.
Yeah, that's fine. We'll get to that in just a second.
But you know who they answer to, like you say, you know who they talk to, right?
Triple H, Vince.
Vince McMahon.
Yeah, man, I'm just mentioning. Yeah. Anyway, we have the first match of the King of the Ring Raw branch with Samoa Joe versus Cesaro. That was a good match. That was the first time ever those two fought. And right out of the gate, you thought Cesaro was going to win with a freaking running uppercut. Damn. Out of the gate, this King of the Ring is damn good. Everybody's fighting right up the gate. But we'll come to that in just a bit. Which case, between the two, it was a very top of the line. 9 out of 10, I gotta give it. Because the only thing is, if it would have been better if the actual finals of the match, but it was only the first match, in which case, thanks to the Kimura lock and making him tap out, Cesaro ended up losing, and Samoa Joe would move on to the next round, to the semifinals, if I'm correct. This is the first round. Next, we would have, I don't know what the hell this is. He says it's going to be a farewell musical performance from Elias. Because of the fact that he is the current 24/7 champion, he is being bombarded, mainly by Drake Maverick and R-Truth, over and over, and will not get any time to practice some music. Even in a sound room, he is being jumped by Drake Maverick.
No, what bothers him is that people keep coming in and interrupting him while he's doing his little concerts.
Oh, they've been doing that. But this time, inside the ring, we would have a hooded figure being R-Truth. But sadly, R-Truth doesn't get the title. Elias, I'll give him this much. I don't like him, and he's kind of honestly, in my opinion, Elias is a B-plus player. He didn't get any titles in NXT to my memory.
R-Truth.
Huh? Oh, R-Truth, yeah. R-Truth, yeah. He's not A-list, but he's funny as hell, and I love him for it. I love how he changes things up.
You got A-list specials like Seth Rollins, Roman Reigns.
Mm-hmm. In which case, next is the fact that I want to talk about this. Rey Mysterio, after his 2 out of 3 straight 2 flush losses against Andrea Cien Almas, or just Andrea, he would actually start putting the question that he should retire, and he starts breaking up, and his son comes in to actually emotionally tell him that he should still wrestle, because in his first match, he wanted to be a tag team like his father, Rey Mysterio Sr., where Rey Mysterio is Jr., the Rey Mysterio we know is the Jr., in which case he wanted him to wrestle with his father to actually honor that legacy. So he wanted him to wrestle. So for his son, he said he would do it for him. So in my opinion, and this is me, I'm actually going to tweet this later, but Rey Mysterio has options. Some good, some bad, some you can't tell if it's going to be good or bad in the future or how well it will work. But here's the options. 1, he can stay as the single competitor in the heavyweight class for good or for better for worse, or he can try his hand at tag teaming, finding a partner until his son becomes a wrestler and gets into WWE. And third and foremost, and this is like a downgrade, but it's still an option. And plus, he can definitely do way more, in my opinion. In my opinion, he could go back, instead of staying in the heavyweight, he can go back to the cruiserweight.
Well, actually...
let me finish. And he could even take his chance at going to 205 Live and seeing the new division that is the cruiserweight and taking his hand at the cruiserweight title. I would say go to NXT, but he lost to somebody who came from NXT, so that would be bad. That would be bad. He already lost to somebody who was former NXT champion, Andrea Cien, now being called Andrea. So go ahead now.
He said on his interview he said he's done with the cruiserweight division, bro.
You never know.
Yeah,
I'm just saying.
Yeah,
you never know.
He said he's already won the cruiserweight belt more times than anybody in his wrestling career. So he said he doesn't want to do no more cruiserweights no more. He wants to move it to like middleweight or heavyweight.
I thought that was a heavyweight.
No, cruiserweight is like see, cruiserweights don't draw more money than big wrestlers, bro.
Next, we have a SmackDown Tag Team Champions, the New Day of Xavier Wood and Big E versus the Revival, Viva by disqualification. They won thanks to Randy Orton, RKO, and Big E out of nowhere. And then they just assault him. They just assault the New Day with Kofi Kingston coming in and getting an RKO as well. And they actually, with the Revival, he made him watch as Xavier Woods' knee would be arguably shattered, but ultimately injured. So will they be able to defend the SmackDown Tag Team Championships in the future? I don't know. They might have to vacate it. And Xavier Woods, I would have to see on his up, down, down and see how he's doing, because of the fact on Instagram, he updates every so often. So I'll keep an eye on that. I haven't seen it, so.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of New Day, so.
Yeah. Next, we have the women's tag team titles with Alexa Bliss and Nikki Cross going up against Fire and Desire of Sonya Deville and Xavier Hill's girl, Mandy. Wait. Mandy Rose.
She ain't the only one I like, bro. I like Alexa Bliss too.
No, I'm just telling you like her. But Alexa Bliss gets the Twisted Bliss on Sonya Deville and gets the win.
Just so everyone know, I hate to tell y'all this, but I'm not a big fan of Becky Lynch no more. Becky, one who's engaged.
Oh, yeah. Oh, that's some news. We got Seth Rollins and Becky Lynch, the man, and I forget. He called himself the man. He called himself the man at one point too. So Kingslayer, Beastslayer, and the man are engaged. Becky Lynch and Seth Rollins are engaged.
Or you can call him the architect.
That too. He's got too many names now.
That's just the three. Everyone has names.
He's got too many names. Well, in addition to that, we also have the second match of Raw for the King of the Ring tournament. We have Cedric Alexander fighting against Sami Zayn. In which case, we would have Cedric Alexander getting the win, moving on, and Sami Zayn losing streak is still going, and he's frustrated. We would have people talking about on YouTube saying that he actually had a freaking meltdown on Raw, and he got in a heated argument with a fan.
But did you know why it said?
What?
Because they said that he's not drawing money. Either Cedric Alexander.
We would also have, because I already mentioned this to him, that if the King of the Ring in this day and age made the comeback, and still technically the women's evolution or revolution, whatever you want to call it, we should have a Queen of the Ring.
Yeah, Vince Truitt said no.
Yeah.
Vince and Truitt said this. They already got Mae Young Classic and women's tag team and Miss WrestleMania. We're not doing no.
And the women's battle royal.
Yeah, we're not.
Royal Rumble.
Yeah, and we're not doing no Queen of the Ring because we're trying to do something that's been around since the 80s.
Yeah, but then the Queen of the Ring would be definitely something of eye popping.
Yeah, but they said they're not gonna do that.
Yeah, they should.
Because like it wouldn't draw money.
Well, Natalya would be questioned as to how she thinks about Sasha Banks attacking her during her talk about her father and her anniversary of his decease. And Sasha Banks yet again attacks her. Damn. Also, we would have Becky Lynch giving her 2 cents on her thoughts on Sasha Banks, and ultimately says that she made her famous. That she made her talk. Damn. Mm-hmm. Finally, we would have Michael Cole talking with Sasha Banks by, I guess, Scream.
By satellite.
By satellite. And all she could talk about was how she believes everybody's talking about her blue hair, but that's not what they're talking about. They're talking about her assault on Natalya. And she says, she doesn't really give a good comment. She just says that she is back.
That's all you need to know, because she says she ain't gonna tell you.
Right. Finally, we have the tag team match where Seth Rollins and Braun Strowman, what did they call it? The Street Profits. The Street Profits even mentioned this. That's why I was bringing up the women's. Because the Street Profits were saying tag team king of the rings. But they actually called this, for these 2 tag teams, it would be Seth freaking Rollins is the tag teams. Seth Strowman or something like that. Seth Strowman against the OCs. Thanks to the unlikely tag team, it would be Braun Strowman whooping ass and AJ Styles, who was about to come in and get the disqualification. Seth Rollins stomps his head. Curve stomps, that's what it's called.
See, this is why he's coming testing for them, because
yeah, and ultimately, Seth Rollins and Braun Strowman are your new Raw Tag Team Champions. Go ahead.
But I think this is what they need to come for new tag teams, because for Braun Strowman and Seth, because they came with names for Chris Jericho and Big Show, and same thing with Big Show and The Miz.
Mm-hmm.
And people saying that about that Braun Strowman and Seth Rollins, said they don't like them as tag team. They're all as single competitors.
Mm-hmm. We'll go ahead and look up August 20th SmackDown. And while he's doing that, I'll give a shout out to our boys, the Heavens Monsters podcast members. First up, Xavier Hill, Mike Henry, and Andre Mitchell. A link to all 3 of their YouTube channels will be in descriptions down below. So check them out, see what they're doing, and see all the rants between Mike Henry and Xavier Hill. Andre Mitchell's is not doing much, but he is posting some stuff. And he has some different angles from our previous podcasts at my house. Recently for SummerSlam. In addition, a shout out to Renee, Farrell, Chris Petrie, and Delvin. Got it. Yep. The night would start off again with the little prelude to what was going to be mentioned between Daniel Bryan and Eric Rowan, confronting Roman Reigns and showcasing who they had. And they have somebody, it's a hooded man, and he's stuck in that freaking locker room, covered up the whole damn the night. It was like over 2 hours. I mean, yeah, what the hell? What is he doing for 2 hours in a freaking club with a freaking cloak over his head?
They usually call the person, the unknown person, mystery man.
Yep. You got something in your eyelash.
Sorry.
Okay. Well, we would then have Randy Orton coming out talking smack about Kofi Kingston and how he is a coward. On how he is stupid to have run away and actually ruin the chance at SummerSlam. Ruin his opportunity. So that's why he did what he did on Monday Night Raw. RKOing Big E, RKOing Kofi Kingston, and having the Revival break and shatter. Theoretically, it's not unclear as to medical condition of Xavier Woods, but theoretically shattering his knee nonetheless. Kofi Kingston retaliates and ends up on top, whooping Randy Orton's ass and have him running. He even tried to injure his leg with a freaking chair, but he got away in time.
I'm sorry, y'all. I just don't like Kofi Kingston as the champion. I'm sorry. I just don't. I don't mind. I'd rather see Randy Orton.
He's fighting. He's a fighting champ. That's why I respect Kofi. He's actually taking up challenges, especially with Randy Orton right now. That's good. That's good. This is a throwback right here. But next up, we would have the SmackDown's first King of the Ring tournament match. We would have Andrade versus Apollo Crews. In which case, the match goes to Andrade because of the fact of the interference of his manager, Zelina Vega. Unbeknownst to the ref, she actually attacked Apollo Crews, and ultimately, thanks to that little help, he ended up getting the win.
She's doing to remind Andrade who he is. That's all it is.
In which case, it's arguably that she is going to help him become the new King of the Ring. I hate to say that, but that might be a major factor. We'll talk about this at the end of our video on who we believe is going to be the new King of the Ring, or who we're hoping for or betting on altogether, like or dislike. Next up, we would have Bayley interrupt the moment of bliss with Nikki Cross and Alexa Bliss with guest Charlotte Flair, in which case this is getting good. Woo-hoo. Why is it always, I dropped my other phone. Why is it always that at the top of the show, it's one of the four horsewomen of the NXT days with Charlotte Flair, Becky Lynch, Sasha Banks, or Bayley, always taking up the spotlight. In this case, here we go again. Ladies and gentlemen, thanks to her win against Trish Stratus at SummerSlam.
Don't remind me.
Too bad, because thanks to that, apparently Charlotte Flair is automatically given a #1 contendership thanks to her win against the Stratus faction against Bayley. What the? I'm not saying it's undeserving, but still, come on.
She does not deserve
Come on.
But
she was supposed to be at the end of the line. Now she's back without even fighting a champ.
But think about this. Someone might could interfere. We might see the return of Lacey Evans. Don't forget about her.
Maybe.
Or
anything can happen. I'll say that much.
Just so I know, the Usos and Naomi got arrested.
The Usos, both Jimmy and Jay, have a record of getting in trouble with the cops, but now they got their wife, Jimmy's wife, into this. Naomi. AKA Tiffany or Tristina?
No, her real name is
right.
Her real name is Trinity.
Trinity got arrested.
Her real name is Trinity.
She was drunk and driving. She was the one behind the wheel.
Mm-hmm.
God, the Usos are a bad influence, not just to each other. They're a bad influence to the wives now.
That's what they said about Alicia Fox.
Duh.
She's a bad influence to the women.
Well, back onto the subject. That's Mikey. Back onto the subject, ladies and gentlemen. When Bayley interrupted the moment of bliss, it would be actually told by Charlotte that it was her who was going to bring back prestige to the SmackDown Women's Champion because of what Bayley has been doing, has been tarnishing the name of the women's division. Bayley considers that a very, very, very big insult to the point that she actually shoves her after speaking a few words and walks off. Doesn't run off, walks off, and Charlotte is just, I know she didn't just do that. This is going to be good. I hope Bayley wins. I'm sorry to say. I hope Bayley wins.
Because I know there's a lot of talk about Charlotte Flair saying that she needs to give everybody else a chance. She's always taking up the spotlight.
Yeah. Next, we have an interesting match. This match was top of the line. Mikey again.
Yeah, I know.
Boy, Mikey's at the Astros games tonight, ladies and gentlemen.
Mikey, let me know the score.
Yeah, don't be surprised. I'm going to turn that down. You're going to hear that.
Yeah.
And next up, we would have Daniel Bryan against Buddy Murphy on account of the onslaught and the forcible confession from him last week. Ultimately, it did not come to the favor of Daniel Bryan. Daniel Bryan and Buddy Murphy were fighting it out. Gotta give it to Buddy Murphy again. He gave a fight to Roman Reigns last week. He took it far beyond past Daniel Bryan's expectations to get him the pinfall. The winner of that match was Buddy Murphy, the ultimate secret. And it's no secret anymore, once again said. He actually got the win, but it came at a price. Thanks to the fact that Daniel Bryan thought that his win was undeserving because he is a liar. He said that throughout the match that he is a liar. He had Eric Rowan sick on him and just hit a face chokeslam him into some luggage. But he won fair and square nonetheless. Next, we would have the Revival talk smack about what they did to poor Xavier Woods and say that they have the right to have them vacate the title. But if they don't, that they should fight them at Clash of Champions for the SmackDown title. They are Raw superstars, and we're going to have them fight against the SmackDown title. Come on.
Dude, think, but they want to be champion. That's all it is. They want to be champion.
They issued a challenge to the New Day, so the Revival will get their second chance at gold. But to be precise, that they said that the SmackDown, or actually all of SmackDown tag team division, were nothing but trash and terrible. Heavy Machinery would take offense and come out and whoop their ass. Well, is what I want to say. But the Revival got the win on Heavy Machinery.
See, with the Revival, they want real competition.
Mm-hmm. Next up, we would have an interesting thing. I don't know where this is going.
I can't say it's interesting to go on.
We would have Miz TV with Sami Zayn as the host, and he would give his words on how he feels with his losing streak. But instead, he actually preaches that he's not the only one who feels that WWE is nothing but tarnishing and exorbitant and trying to leech off his career and whatever, just, sourpuss phrasing, that he says that he has somebody with him that agrees with him. And everybody is shocked to see who it is. Already, thanks to the clip of his opening theme, it would be none other than the Intercontinental Champion, Shinsuke Nakamura, who is now not going to even bother to speak English. It would be Sami Zayn who says that he's going to be the voice of Shinsuke Nakamura, and he agrees to it. He actually, when The Miz actually said, when Sami Zayn says, if you have anything to ask him, you come to me. The Miz ignores him and says Shinsuke, what do you, and he goes and points straight to Sami Zayn.
Why don't you say his advocate?
Fuck that. He did not say.
No, that's what he meant. I said, the thing with Paul Heyman said the same thing.
Yeah. After which, it would end with Miz just being jumped by Shinsuke and being assaulted alongside by Sami Zayn. It was a 2-on-1. What the fuck? What do you think?
Yeah, I knew it was gonna happen. Like I said, I think if you're like representing someone, you're gonna say, if you want to talk, you talk to him. Mm-hmm. My advocate.
Well, next we would have Elias coming to the ring, but before that, he sees a hooded figure and knows it's a ref, and he says, "Where is he?" He finds in the luggage cargo Drake Maverick, and he puts a paper in his face that says, signed by the best in the world, Shane McMahon, issues so that he can focus on his match in the King of the Ring tournament against Kevin Owens. It would actually be null and void that the rules of the 205 24/7 title be vacated so that he can focus. That sucks. And even after the match, we would have Elias defeating Kevin Owens. Damn it! Thanks to the fact that Kevin Owens would come to earlier the show, because it's not written here, but I remember. Kevin Owens talked to Shane McMahon from father to father, stating that it would actually be he's pleading with him about reconsidering on the 100K fine. In which case, he says he'll put it to thought. Before that match even starts, we would have Shane McMahon come out and be on standby. Later, during the match, he would interfere and he wants to punch him, saying, "What is wrong with you?" He unzips his zipper to reveal his custom referee shirt, showing that he's an outside official. Once again, during the match, though, it would be Shane McMahon this time doing a quick 1, 2, 3, making sure that Elias wins the match and moves on to the King of the Ring tournament. Literally screwing over Kevin Owens. I'm not a big fan of Kevin Owens, but even I know that's fucking bullshit.
Shane McMahon, he's a McMahon. That's what McMahon's
I know, but still, I don't give a fuck if he's a Shane McMahon. That's fucking bullshit.
No, I'm saying he's a McMahon. That's what they do.
It's still fucking bullshit.
They screw you.
It's still fucking bullshit.
That's Stone Cold and The Rock. Shawn Michaels.
And it's funny, I guess he made it so that the rules applied to the 24/7 title, that even after the match, nobody went after him. Damn. Yep.
Because you think about it,
Right.
R-Truth will be crazy. It'll be stupid for R-Truth go in there and ring with Shane McMahon there.
Finally, we'd have the big reveal of Daniel Bryan and Eric Rowan revealing as to who they believed was the one that attacked Roman Reigns. Prior to the fact that it was Buddy Murphy who said it was Rowan, they would hunted this person down to showcase him to Roman Reigns. And once he was revealed, it was nothing but confusion and quiet. To be continued, as they say. And here's the big reveal as to why they thought it was Eric Rowan.
It was an Eric Rowan impersonator.
Look-alike, really.
Yeah, that's the same impersonator. Like, person look like. That's what they call it, impersonator.
I mean, from afar, even up, you could only see up close certain distinct figures that say they're not the same person. But from afar, tall, hefty, long, red beard, bald-headed guy.
Yeah.
Eric Rowan.
Yeah, Eric Rowan.
But it's not him. It's somebody else that looks like him.
It's an impersonator.
Yeah. I would show that.
Yeah.
With that said, ladies and gentlemen, that will be the end of our show. The time is getting close to 9:30, so we're going to do a rundown of 205 Live and NXT real quick. Yeah, I'm trying to hurry. So with that said, if you liked this video, give it a thumbs up. If you didn't, give it a thumbs down. Hit that subscribe button if you like the content, and hit that notification bell. It's over here, I believe, for the next Heaven's Monsters podcast. Peace out, y'all.
Bye.